You going, you know what? If you were behaving any other way, I'd be cursing that I was up when it's dark out. But this is amazing to watch Joy. The other day, he cried because after about 40 minutes, he couldn't figure out why he couldn't lift up the couch. Just an absolute.
He's trying to Hulk out.
Yeah, he's a UFC fighter. He's
That's
like
great.
you saw him. He's just running around, ready to go.
Yeah.
But you said your
He
daughter
took me down.
He did try the double leg.
Yeah, he did.
He acts like he wants to be picked up.
Yeah.
And then when you bend down, he shoots the leg.
He bruised my liver with his scissor-like grip.
You said your daughter was walking at like 7 months?
6.5 months. I remember we came into the kitchen.
That's gotta look really freaky.
And it was like right out of Poltergeist. Like we came into the kitchen and she was standing in the middle of the kitchen table. Like on the table. Like climbed up and then just like, yeah, I'm the centerpiece. And we were like, uh-oh. We weren't at all prepared.
And then Oscar goes, she's curious and dangerous to the Dutch.
She's like, watch that one. She's made of springs.
When the March rains come, so does the need
My
for
wife
more.
My wife has a class. She thinks kids all sort of fall into the category of Winnie the Pooh characters. And like, do you have an owl? Do you have a Winnie the? And I have 2 Tiggers. Like both of my children are made of springs, and my son was scaling things as early as he could, and now he's taking parkour. But so kids like fall into.
People don't know what parkour is. Parkour
free
is,
running.
They made fun of it on The Office once. Parkour is when you run up brick walls and jump onto.
Yeah, you're Spider-Man essentially.
Yeah, you just flip onto like a storage container, and then
it's like skateboarding without the skateboard.
Yeah, Steve Carell tried it in The Office and just kept going parkour, and, like running around yelling it. It was so funny.
Well, there's this place.
I think
out
I have
in,
a Tigger, and what would Jackie be? Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, that sounds like it. Is he into honey?
No.
Oh, he's like Piglet? A very small thing?
No, but Meredith's Piglet. Like he's the
Meredith's
Joy.
a Tigger.
He
Piglet's not
Tigger,
Joy.
Tigger.
He's a Tigger.
Yeah. You said Tigger, right?
Yeah, Tigger is the one with the springs.
Throw you out of here. Yeah, Tigger and Piglet.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, okay. That's neat.
Is Jackie a worrier? Because Piglet's been a worrier.
No.
Then he's a Pooh.
Yeah, I think he's a Pooh. He
He's
doesn't
just
worry
sort of-
about
he's
anything.
mellow, then he's a Pooh.
And he's always done really well with logic. Like you could say, we're going to Disneyland, we're going to Disneyland, we're going to Disneyland. And then you get like a voiceover audition, you go. But like they go, but you're going to get this.
Yeah.
Like you have to go.
Uh-huh.
And you go, oh my God. And you go, we can't go to Disneyland today because I got an audition, which isn't a job, but I could get a job. He goes, it's okay. I mean, it's not like you did it on purpose. There's nothing you can do about it. He's that guy. Super sweet.
So he's calming you down because you're upset that you're not
I'm
getting
furious
to go to
because I want to go ride,
because
Mr. Toad's teacup ride.
You're going to hawk like Sanyo TVs.
Yeah, I
on a radio
wish.
spot.
I wish. And then the baby he'll do this thing where he cry, like we don't let him near the dog's food because he likes to play with the dogs when they eat because they growl, and that makes him laugh.
It's hilarious.
It is hilarious. That eating growl.
Yeah. And you have little dogs.
Yeah, so they make and he laughs, and I pull him out, and he gets a big lip, and he cries, and then halfway through his cry, he realizes he's full of shit, and he laughs.
Yeah, well, we were raised with like my son. We have an English bull because I had Oscar as my son, English bulldog, and so we needed
a bull in the
we have a full size, but we take him down. But we needed a dog that my son could tackle. Like at an early, like Meredith's going to crush those dogs.
Yes, he is.
Those dogs are going to die.
He picked the Pomeranian up by her afro the other day.
Yeah, so we needed a dog that my son could like attack and be fine, and so we got this English bull because they sleep all day, and then you just tackle them and they're good. But they're
sounds like a Don Rickles bit. It's good. They sleep all day and then you attack them. We wanted a dog that the kid could tackle.
Well, they're
turn on the television.
They're amazing. They have like the head like a cinder block. They're just.
And did Oscar tackle?
Oh yeah, they're the best friends. But those dogs you can back a truck over them. They like, let's do it. But then they get like skin irritations. I can't breathe.
Does your son go to a school for the arts?
He does not. No, my son goes to a school for the Oscars. It's really akin to like brilliant kids who don't know when to shut up.
Oh, so he does go to a school, not a special school like special ed, but he goes to a school where they cater to kids that think way outside the box. And these are the kids like, I'm saying all of this
Bill
of
Gates.
like, this is dynamite shit.
Yeah.
Like these are brilliant kids where if you go, okay, we're going to read the Canterbury Tales and I'm going to treat 36 kids exactly the same.
No.
Fucking bullshit.
No.
I already read the Canterbury Tales when I was 11 after I learned about vaginal discharge,
Yes.
which is very dangerous to the touch.
You don't want to touch that. But I'm sure somebody's using it as painting supplies. Some like.
It's not,
No.
vaginal discharge is not very. Well, it's curious.
To
Well,
somebody's
jeez
into that
Louise.
stuff.
I was just about to do a live read. I got to put some space between vaginal discharge and our friends that support the podcast. Oh, you said that Calero was a fan of The Riches, and we glossed completely over that. That
That's
was
fair.
the show you were on with Eddie Izzard,
The very same.
as Jim Jeffrey would say. Eddie Izzard, and Minnie Driver.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I never saw the show. Will you pick up that cap for me right there? Because the baby will put it in his mouth and just hand it to me.
So good. I might
Thank
put it
you.
in my mouth.
You can put it in your mouth.
I just grab things off the floor.
all night long.
Yeah.
I know what I saw, man. I never saw the show. I only saw ads for the show, and I was happy that Eddie Izzard was doing mainstream television. Now, were people burglars? Like, explain how... I'm being completely honest with you.
It's a
because-
show you'd like.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not
they
gonna
were
lie to you.
travelers, so they were deep south.
I like you too much to bullshit you.
Oh, that's
and I
fair.
didn't want to go real quick. Let me go in the other room and IMDb and act like I know what the
Constantly.
fuck. I don't know anything about fucking comic books.
That's fair.
And I never saw The Riches
Nor
and
need
what
you.
happened.
No, that's fine. Don't bring up sports because I'm not going to know that stuff. So
Let me tell you something.
We're good. Yeah.
Let me tell you something about
Please.
sports.
I think you could talk a lot about it.
Riches.
Yeah.
What was it about?
They were. That was a long time ago. They were travelers in the deep south, like gypsies, but of Irish descent, not Romany. And Eddie and Minnie basically are running from the family of travelers, and they decide to hide out in the suburbs and pretend to be a rich family.
But didn't they squat the house? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they were burglary.
The couple
I wasn't that
that
far off.
No. But burglar is like, I think of like a guy with a mask and a bag with
I love
number sign on it.
on like those ID shows when they go, then they were burgled. It always makes me think of like somebody like wiggling their fingers on your asshole.
That's
Did you just
buggered.
burgle me, dude? Oh, that's buggered?
Yeah, I would think. Yeah.
The first time I heard the word buggered, I think was in the Johnny Cash song, The Man Who Couldn't Cry.
That-
Badgered and buggered.
Was he using it correctly?
Yeah, a guy went to jail and he was badgered and buggered.
Which is
but
somebody
he
tickling him.
still couldn't cry.
Well, that.
And then at the end
That
of the
might
song,
have-
he cried and he cried for years and for years.
Oh.
And so what did you play on the show?
I was the sociopathic hillbilly villain of the show.
So you were a regular on the show.
Yeah.
That must have been disappointing when they got canceled for you, because you more so than those two, because you've always been like this guy that came in and played these wacky characters. That's how I knew you when I was fired up to work with you. And now you're a regular.
Went from professional guest star. No, I was like I've done.
How many guest stars have you
I've
done?
done 16 pilots,
Okay.
and only one was picked up, and that was The Riches.
And how many guest stars?
I couldn't tell you.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Like
That's all I meant.
Like 50.
yeah.
Yeah. Like.
Are you always like a bizarre guy?
Yeah, I always.
Law and Order.
I again, I'm always taking my clothes off or killing somebody with a hammer. Like that's what I do. I'm evil. I played Bela Lugosi's Dracula on Supernatural. Yeah, I'm always brought in. It's
Fight
like,
a
he's
dollar.
tall, he's Slavic looking, he's probably killed somebody. So get Stashwick in case of emergency, break glass. Yeah, that's me.
And we have a mutual friend in Brian Callen.
Yes, we do.
And Brian Callen was going to meet me to do the show Master Debaters, and he asked you, what's Jay Mohr like? And you said, he's you.
Yes. I can't imagine what that must have been like in the same room.
We do well.
Well, I'll bet.
Brian Callen and I do well
He's a good
together.
man. You're-
Yeah, he's really
you're both
fun.
fun,
And
yeah.
we're both such, you think like you get two alphas in a room that
No.
never shut up, it's just going to blow up. And it can, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because we're both comics and we both love comedy, we both love for someone else to land something. So there is a volley where
Yeah.
you lay out like jazz musicians,
Yeah.
like Cannonball Adderley and John Coltrane on Kinda Blue. They took their turns and they blew that shit apart.
He and I never finish a conversation.
He-
Because it's
that's on
nothing
him.
but us spiraling off in these Mandelbrot type tangents of insanity.
It's like MC Escher drawing.
Yeah.
where
Like
you
at some
go-
point, we're talking about cutting our arms open and feeding fire ants into our bloodstream. Like,
Bro, I'm just saying, if you could put fire and the fucking forearms of this guy, if no matter any conversation you have with Brian Callen, he winds up talking about somebody's forearms.
or himself, yeah. He's like, I'm V'd out like an angel. It's
Look
always
at me, I'm built like a greyhound.
yeah,
Jay
it's
Mohr,
like,
you're
like
broad.
my stomach is like snakes wrestling.
You're too broad. You're too broad, Jay. You're just too broad. You know, you're a broad. Your shoulders, like an Adonis. If I could play pro sports, I'd do those tennis guys. Little headband, long flowing hair, and just eat lentils.
Yeah, it's just and if you watch his act, which I think is if he's still doing it this way, but it's a brilliant take on. It's always like a commercial for a class he's going to teach. If you take my class, class, like a man class, how to be a man, and I want a falcon and I want a cape and a saber, and it kills me.
I asked him once if he still liked doing stand-up. He goes, why would I like doing stand-up? I get to tell everybody to look and talk about me. He gets to stand in front of strangers and talk about his abs, his calves.
And there's no joke.
Feel my
There's
muscle.
never a joke. There's never a joke that lands. It's just this endless stream of absurd shit. It's funny.
Eddie Izzard, fun to work with?
Eddie's great. You know, it's funny because I was so
Interesting guy.
So, you know, because coming up in comedy myself, before I started killing people on TV, I was a Second City guy. So I was like, Eddie's a luminary. Like, he's one of those guys that you go, oh, well. So when I showed up to set the day that I was going to work with him, I'm expecting the mascara and the boa, and I'm the executive transvestite. And then I meet this amazing man with a goatee who's like, hello, I'm Eddie. And I'm like, oh, and I met the actor Eddie, not the stand-up Eddie.
He wasn't in a dress. He just looked like, fucking Sterling, the copywriter.
He
He just looks like a regular guy, right?
Yes.
Like, hi, I'm Mr. McLaughlin, and
Oh,
if you follow me, we could have some Maxwell House coffee.
although Sterling looks like Rivers Cuomo from.
See, now you just blew the whole gag apart.
But I'll keep doing it though. We can work it in.
I worked with him. I did a stand-up gig with him, April Foolishness, for the Kevin and Bean do, K-Rock, and the whole place reeked of weed, obviously, because it's like all these comics, and I knew I wasn't smoking, and I'm like, I don't think the midget's smoking. That'd be really weird if a midget was hitting the pipe hard before he went on stage. Like, in my mind, I'm like, there's no way Brad Williams smokes pot. He's a little person. They can't do that, can they? It's like when I see a black person smoke, I go, that doesn't look right. Like, life is hard enough. Why add that to your list of things? High blood pressure, hypertension. Just take it
Going
easy.
upstairs slow.
Yeah, relax, man. And I'm like, wow. And then I'm talking to Eddie Izzard, and he's got, like, the pupils of his eyes are unlike others. Have you ever noticed that?
I haven't
No?
surveyed his eyes that deeply, but
Well, you acted opposite him. I'm sure you stared into them take after take.
Yeah,
lovingly.
but it was more of just watching his mouth.
Just watching the gorgeous
Get
mouth.
lost.
So I go, and he's got the kind of hair where it always looks like a toupee.
But no, it's all his.
Yeah,
Huh?
but he's got toupee-looking
great hair.
Yes, but it's alarmingly great where it's the exact hair in the toupee commercial where the guy comes straight up out of the pool, like
Right.
Martin Sheen in
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now,
Shakes
coming
it
out of the
off.
river,
Yeah,
and they do like a half shake, and they go,
That
"Oh,
lands perfectly.
It's like, yeah, you know what? I can roller skate, and I can
all
like, wow,
mine.
maybe I
Yeah.
should get a toupee just to go fucking roller skating.
See?
What kind of advertisement is
A
this?
lot of money.
So I'm looking at him, and his eyes are. I can't even explain what it was. Anyway, I thought to myself, Eddie Izzard is the one making all this pot smell. And I said to a couple people, I think Eddie Izzard's super fucking high because he's so erudite, and his conversation.
So he's like one of the smartest men you ever.
Yeah, and like he has an art collection. And comedically, he could
Encyclopedia
talk about
Britannica,
he
yeah.
could talk about like Cy Twombly, and then talk to you about like
in Russian. He'll talk
in Russian,
yeah.
but then they'll also talk about like an Eddie Murphy Raw and a joke he liked about this, and then go over to Ann Sexton and E.E. Cummings, and then loop back around about Manchester United and beer.
And with a Python reference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The animal,
Yeah.
not this show. And then
somehow it'll be both. It'll be
Yes.
the razor's edge, and it'll work both ways. It'll be like something about Eric Idle and something that can swallow you whole.
and I go, wow, he must be super fucking high because the only time I've ever had conversations like that with people was when people that were educated and smart were super high.
Right.
And they go, I remember this was the company line. And by the way, it wasn't him. It was everyone else.
Sure.
And it was not him.
No,
but
that's
everybody goes, well, no, he doesn't smoke pot. He runs marathons every day. he did like 90
43,
marathons.
43 marathons one summer, I think.
In one summer, he did 43 marathons, to which I was agog going, well, great, but do you know how high I would have to be to run a marathon? And to train for, I would have to wake up, hit the graphics bong with the Wu-Tang sticker on the side, and get so fucking high that when my nipples bled, I would just work that into...
Is that what Pot will do?
No. You son of a bitch. You fucking got me. Pot makes your nipples bleed.
Yeah, it does. That should be on the side
So
of the package.
I thought...
once it's legalized.
I thought that was a stupid defense of he doesn't smoke pot, he runs marathon. You know how fucking high you have to be to think that's a good idea? Bro, let's jog for 26 miles. Why? They give you a piece of paper when you're done that says you did it.